Confirmed now! Tottenham's lineup to face Liverpool just dropped. Thomas Frank demands a performance that finally answers the pressure. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham return to Premier League action this weekend with a game that feels absolutely decisive for Thomas Frank and his players against Liverpool. After a pathetic defeat to Forest, patience inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is wearing dangerously thin. Performances have dipped. Confidence has evaporated, and frustration among supporters has now turned into open calls for the manager's dismissal. Frank has had something he has rarely enjoyed this season: a full week on the training ground. No excuses this time, no fatigue, no fixture congestion. This is about preparation, clarity, and leadership. Against the defending champions Liverpool, Tottenham must show clear signs of organisation, aggression, and purpose. Anything less, and the pressure on the Danish coach could become unbearable. This is a moment of truth. Frank needs responses, not experiments, not confusing tactical tweaks, and certainly not more post-match explanations. Results and performances must speak now. With that in mind, here is our predicted Tottenham starting 11 for this huge test. In goal, Guglielmo Vicario. The Italian endured another difficult afternoon against Nottingham Forest, adding 2 costly mistakes to a worrying list this season. While many fans would argue for a change, we do not expect Frank to drop him now. Vicario remains trusted by the manager, and this match offers a chance for redemption in front of a demanding home crowd. At right-back, Pedro Porro, the Spaniard was heavily criticised after the Forest defeat, with supporters questioning his intensity and defensive commitment. Against Liverpool, his response must be immediate. The Spaniard needs to balance his attacking instincts with far greater defensive discipline. At centre-back, Christian Romero. Frank is unlikely to disrupt his defensive partnership in a game of this magnitude. Romero's aggression and leadership will be essential, particularly against a Liverpool attack full of movement and pace. Alongside him, Mickey van de Ven. Van de Ven's recovery speed could prove vital against Liverpool's forward line. His ability to cover space and recover in transition makes him indispensable for this fixture. On the left, Djed Spence. With Destiny Udogie still unavailable, Spence is expected to start despite being substituted last time out. His athleticism and willingness to push forward give Tottenham an outlet down the left, but his defensive concentration will be tested relentlessly. In midfield, João Palhinha. The Portuguese returns to the starting 11, as Frank looks for physical presence and protection in front of the defence. While he has not been an automatic starter recently, this feels like a game built for his intensity and ball-winning ability. Alongside him, Rodrigo Bentancur. This remains a controversial call. Bentancur has struggled badly this season, with errors piling up and form dipping alarmingly. However, Frank appears determined to persist with the partnership, even if much of the fan base remains unconvinced. Playing in a more advanced central role, Xavi Simons. Despite a quiet showing against Forest, Simons remains Tottenham's most natural creative force. At home, Frank should trust him centrally, where his movement, passing and ability to receive between the lines can hurt Liverpool. On the right wing, Mohamed Kudus. The Ghanaian endured his poorest display in a Spurs shirt last weekend. Expect a reaction. His pace and directness will be key on the counter, especially if Tottenham look to exploit space behind Liverpool's fullbacks. On the left, Brennan Johnson. The Welshman has found game time hard to come by, and that has led to speculation about his future, with Crystal Palace rumoured to be interested in Johnson. But Saturday could see him earn a rare start for Spurs. Leading the line, Richarlison, not always popular with supporters, but numbers do not lie. With 6 Premier League goals, Richarlison remains Tottenham's most effective finisher domestically. His physicality and pressing could also be crucial against Liverpool's centre-backs. This match is about far more than points. Tottenham need to restore belief, reconnect with the crowd, and show that there is still a clear direction under Thomas Frank. Another heavy defeat at home would push the situation towards breaking point. The fan base is exhausted by chaotic performances, muddled tactics, and excuses. A week on the training ground must translate into structure, intensity, and bravery on the pitch. Even more than the result, Spurs must deliver a credible performance. With pressure mounting and names already being whispered behind the scenes, including Xavi Hernandez watching closely, this feels like a defining afternoon. One more lifeless display could mark the beginning of the end for Thomas Frank in North London. According to multiple sources close to the club, Monaco winger Magnus Akliouche has been strongly recommended by Tottenham scouts, with internal backing growing rapidly ahead of the winter window. The 23-year-old has been under close observation for some time, but interest has now moved up a gear. Club scouts are understood to have followed Akliouche extensively throughout 2025, including his Champions League appearance against Spurs earlier this season, a match in which he failed to score but still left a strong impression with his movement, ball control and ability to operate between the lines. Tottenham currently view Akliouche as a serious alternative to Antoine Semenyo should Bournemouth stand firm on their £65 million release clause, or if competition from rival Premier League clubs makes that deal too complex. Crucially, the Monaco man represents a far more accessible option financially, with figures around £40 million believed to be enough to open negotiations, a price Spurs see as far more workable in January. Frank is desperate to inject creativity, unpredictability and technical quality into a misfiring attack, particularly on the left side. Akliouche's profile has been flagged as a near-perfect fit. Those monitoring him internally describe a player with magic in tight spaces, capable of unlocking deep defences and carrying the ball at pace, something Tottenham have lacked badly this season. Versatility is another major factor driving the interest. Akliouche is comfortable operating as a left winger, right winger or central number 10, giving Frank tactical flexibility without needing multiple signings. With Spurs struggling to settle on a consistent attacking structure, that adaptability is viewed as a major asset. The Frenchman's form for Monaco throughout 2025 has not gone unnoticed elsewhere. PSG are also monitoring the situation, having been impressed by his development and maturity at League One level. While PSG have yet to make a concrete move, their interest adds urgency to Tottenham's thinking, with fears that delaying until the summer could price them out entirely. This is not a new name on Spurs' radar. Before Tottenham secured a deal for Xavi Simons, Akliouche was already being discussed internally as a potential attacking reinforcement. That long-standing interest has never faded, and sources suggest the club have maintained detailed performance data and scouting reports ever since. With pressure mounting on Frank to deliver immediate improvement, January recruitment is no longer optional, it is essential. Akliouche is now firmly back in the conversation, and momentum is quietly building. If Spurs decide to move decisively, the Monaco star could quickly emerge as one of the most realistic and impactful signings of their winter window. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything Tottenham, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Don't forget to drop a like and share this video with other Spurs fans. Together we can keep growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!